Guys, thanks for waiting. We just had a few technical issues, but we're live now. And as you can see, it is another fan exclusive. So we're going to be looking at the preview for the game coming up this weekend. It's going to be quite a saucy one. It's been dubbed the El Sakiko. So obviously we've got the two managers, Ole and Nuno, who are currently in the mud. That's what it looks like. Both managers have their jobs on the line. Um, so I'm here with G Wolf, and I'm going to add Usman to the stream now. He's going to be helping us out with a few
Yo,
things.
guys.
G Wolf, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Thanks. Considering, been a good week.
Yeah, we've had a good long week to recover. So that's what they needed. That's what Man United needed going into this, a big week to reflect.
That's it.
That's it. We've heard Ole talking in the press conference saying training was good this week. So there's some positives. Maybe I don't know if he's worked some kind of miracle.
I'm hoping
tactics.
he's going to change it up.
Hey, that's what I was about to say. Hopefully we're going to see some miracle tactics come into play. But we'll get into that later on. I got to introduce Usman. How you doing, mate?
I'm fuming. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready for this show. I'm actually pissed, but
wow.
I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna chew the fat in terms of the manager situation a bit later on. But let's see who's in here, guys. Please get your likes up for the preview, and please subscribe if you're new. And Aaron, how you doing, mate? Aaron Homeyard's in here, the Fusionator, Fuzzy Ozzy. I don't think I've seen you before. Good to see you. 40 in travel. So we're getting some new guys in here. Please drop the like and subscribe if you do. So yeah, before we get into a bit of talk about the managers, I've got to obviously go through the form guide because I think that's still relevant because you obviously take confidence into a new game. So with the head-to-head with Man United and Spurs, Spurs are actually looking better in terms of their form. They've got 3 wins out of 5 in their last 5 games, obviously. And then Man United's looking like some relegation form as well, like two wins, a draw, and 2 losses. If we look at the table, it's hard watching. Looking at the table. I mean, we're in 7th place, 14 points, and Spurs are above us, 15 points. And so we're 8 points off the top. Chelsea on 22 points. And Spurs 7 points off the top. So it looks like we're in, from looking at the table, it looks like we're in the top 4 race already. And it's not even been 3 months yet that we've done the season. And it looks like we may be doing a bit of meeting the remit for the Glazers. But the thing is, if Ole can turn things around, this is the thing. It's always if with Ole. Can he turn things around now? I mean, we've seen the nickname El Sakiko. It's going to be big pressure. So I don't know if Ole is going to be able to turn things around like he would like to, because we've seen before when his job's on the line, he likes to go pragmatic. So it's a question of whether he stays with his pragmatism in terms of 4-2-3-1 and revert to trying to counterattack. Because in the last game we saw him try and press with a 4-2-3-1. It didn't work. We tried to press, the defense got sucked in, and we got embarrassed. If we look at Spurs right now, I think it's relevant to look at what they've been doing. I mean, this is the thing. I was looking at the fact that they had the Carabao Cup game. They've just beat Burnley 1-0. So that's a bit of confidence there.
For them.
But as well as that, though, they've actually played like half of their first team. They were playing people like Kane, Højbjerg, Romero, Emerson, who started in their last Premier League game. So we might even have the advantage as Man United. We may have the advantage that they might be a bit tired because they've had to play the extra 90 minutes with half of their first team. And when we look at Man United, we're not really taking confidence into the game, but at least we're taking a fully fit team. All they said in the press conference today, it's a fully fit team. Even though I was looking at the injury doubts yesterday, and apparently it was Martial and Varane were actually still struggling. There were fitness doubts, but then all they said, fully fit team. Got like 5 goalkeepers training, 25 other man training. it's like it's an embarrassment of riches, and I think that's actually worked against Ali this season in terms of not really knowing his best team, as we've seen. So if we look at the literal head-to-head in terms of Spurs and Man United in the last 6 games, Spurs only have 1 win. That is pretty crap. 1 draw, and then it's 4 wins on Man United's side. So I don't know. Do you think the players actually go into this game looking at like head-to-heads like that? G Wolf, do you think people, because we know the players are online, they're on Twitter, they're on whatever. I don't know if they're looking at stats like this. Do you think they take this into the game?
Nah, I don't think. I can't really see them doing it. Seeing that, I think what they go by is their performances from the previous game, and basically, if they've had a shit game, like we all know from against Liverpool, we played shit, right? So they want to go out and put up a performance for the fans. That's what they want to do. They want to exceed. So I think they're going to literally go into this game against Spurs tomorrow with a fresh mindset and literally put out a performance for the fans. And then if we win, they would say that's for the fans because of the shit show that we played against Liverpool.
Yeah, I was going to say a shit show is like it's an understatement. I mean, going down 4-0 at half time. It's not like it was an overall, like maybe it was 2-0 at half time and then we tried in the second half. It was over at the 60th minute. So I'm hoping to go in fresh minded, having a whole week to prepare, like I said. Usman, I'll come to you then. Do you think the players take any of these head-to-head stats on their mind? Do you think they're looking at that kind of thing?
I mean, it's quite irrelevant, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. In most cases, it's irrelevant because I feel like, against the so-called lesser team, which Spurs are, I mean, you don't really look at these stats. I don't think it's really going to, I mean, hypothetically speaking, let's just say, Man United were 70% wins, I don't know, whatever the 30% is, but I don't think a player's going to go into that looking at that stat and think, oh, we've beaten them 70% of the time in our history. I don't think that's going to make a difference. But I was about to say, going into the game itself, I just don't see why a player would look at those stats and really, take anything away from it. It's irrelevant to them. Of course, they can look at the last time they played them personally, and obviously then try to analyse those games. But going back to the history of the two clubs and seeing what the head-to-head is, I don't see how that impacts the current crop of players, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, fair enough. Before we get into, because I was going to ask about whether you think that, actually, yeah, I'll just ask you now. Do you think having a week's rest is going to actually, have them feeling fresh? Or does that kind of lack of confidence that you do take from a 5-0, that's going to hit your confidence? Does that actually weigh down on them in terms of their fitness? Because we all know mental health is prime. You can be as fit as you want physically, but if you take a lack of confidence, that may affect you.
Yeah, I mean, I studied sports psychology at uni, so I've got a good understanding of that. But in terms
big up yourself for that, man. You know what I mean? You got that knowledge.
But in terms of is that week going to make a difference? Absolutely not, because it's quite evident that they don't do anything in training anyway, so they can't be tired during the weeks. I mean, I've not seen anything on the pitch that illustrates they actually do any work in training. So I would assume they've been fresh every single week this season. I mean, even if they had played midweek, it doesn't really make a difference because the performances have been poor throughout the season. They've been consistently poor. Whether we've had 7 days off, 5 days off, 3 days off, I mean, it's consistent in terms of they're not good enough. Of course, we're going to go to the manager, but some of the players have absolutely embarrassed the shirt. I know me and G Wolf got the shirt on only because we're proud fans and I will always wear the shirt. But some of those players do not deserve to wear the shirt again, quite frankly. And the captain's armband does not need to be on Maguire ever again, personally, in my personal opinion. To lead a team out, to lose 5-0 to our biggest rivals, mate, that guy shouldn't be on Old Trafford pitch come tomorrow. But obviously, that's going to be the case, isn't it? So for me, the players, if they've had 5-6 days rest, I don't really care how many days rest they've had, because I know people like, obviously, may rest in peace, Kobe, Michael Jordan, these guys, bro, they've won NBA championships and they're training 2 days later. All our players doing shit like that, You don't see that mentality. How many of our players have got that mentality? Ronaldo.
I mean, people were saying that. Before I forget, sorry. People were saying that Maguire's not fit enough. That's why he's been put in stinkers. Do you think?
Has he not been fit enough the entirety of the season? Because he's been an absolute shambles. So, listen, you can make excuses for individual players. We can talk about systems, but at the end of the day, Maguire is a grown-ass man, 80 million on the pitch, captain's armband. Take responsibility, take ownership for your performances, because he fouled Luke Shaw again for the second goal. I mean, did the exact same thing last season when we lost 6-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. He fouls Luke Shaw, and the exact same thing. He runs into Luke Shaw. I mean, you both speak English. What's the excuse there? There's no communication whatsoever. There's two players who, with 130 million between them, running into each other on the pitch. I mean, it's absolutely embarrassing. So these 5 days, I hope they're not resting at all. I hope they've been training every single day, because if I was them, I'd be embarrassed. So they better fix up and put in a performance tomorrow, because we can say what we want about Oli, but some of them players, like I said, they're not fit to wear the shirt, in my personal opinion.
Okay, but I mean, you went in deep already there. I mean, we're going to get into a bit more of like what the kind of frames of mind that these players may be in. But I might as well put that to G Wolf as well, because Maguire is G Wolf's guy. There's been a lot of he is your boy. There's been a lot of streams of Piggo's watch-alongs that I've been in, where I've seen you go back and forth with Piggo. I've seen you defend Mr. Slabhead, which is disrespect to him, but when he's been Mr. Slabhead, he's been good at getting that slab onto clearing the ball with his head. He's been good at, he's a good low block defender from what I see. But do you see Maguire then having a good reaction now, actually?
Well, after the game, wasn't it? He came out and said, that everyone needs to look in the mirror, right? Everyone needs to look themselves in the mirror and basically take stock of their performances on the pitch. Basically, no man should be happy with that performance that we put out there for the fans. And they said they need to get back into training and literally, we need to pull our sleeves up and start putting out the performances that the fans deserves. This is the thing. It's all about the fans now, because the fans are on Ollie's back. So now the players need to step up and literally play their hearts out. As Osman said, that some of these players don't deserve to wear the shirt. It's like at the moment, it's like majority of that team, which was out on against Liverpool, none of them should be playing tomorrow. And that's Harry Maguire included, because of how poor they were. They need to take stock. Ollie needs to make big decisions tomorrow, especially if he wants to keep his job.
You see, this is the thing. It shouldn't be about Ollie's job anymore, especially in your third full season. Let me just get into the super chat.
But we've been saying, but every single manager has been like this.
Yeah. Zemias is coming in here. I can never see the super sticker that people put up. He's probably laughing. He usually puts in a laughing super sticker. I mean, £8.99. Thanks for the super chat. I mean, I guess you can kind of talk, because Arsenal are in good form, but we need to see you guys be in the top 4 race before you can talk. I mean, Zayn, get the laughs out, man. But I reckon you guys are going to go back into banter soon. At least I hope, anyway. But yeah, in terms, I forgot what I was going to say, but I had to honor the super chat. I think, G Wolf, we're talking about Ole's job. Yeah, it's like I've said this before. It's like we've had stages at this point of Ole's tenure where it was he had to come in and steady the ship, and then he had a bad period. We saved Ole, and then went to the next period where it's like, okay, we've got to progress as a team. Getting top 2, top 3 is good. It's good, but it's like we're Man United, isn't it? We have a big legacy. We're supposed to be winning cups. We're supposed to be seeing good football. I remember as a kid when my patience was low for football. I remember watching Sir Alex's team. It was beautiful watching the way they would show passion, and there would be tactics. You would see what they're doing. So it's like, as well as you guys are saying, okay, some of these players are just, they're not good. Maybe some are a disgrace. At the same point, it's like, is Ole getting, the best out of the players in terms of putting the right tactics there? And I know, Osman, you're a very tactical guy as well, so I'm sure you put it more to the tactics as well as bad player performances. But it's like, do you also something interesting? Will Ole get this this team to get going now? And I'm thinking, will he play the same kind of team? We've seen how they shape up 4-2-3-1. Spurs do the same thing as well. Spurs play. I'll just get into Spurs' first team now. Yeah, they play Lloris in goal. Obviously, they've got Romero, Dyer centre back, Emerson at right back, Regular on left back, Skip and Højbjerg, Lucas Moura on the right, and Ndombele as their Bruno Fernandes. He's the playmaker. Heung-min Son on the left, and then Kane up front. So it's like, it's a question of whether Ole will look to counter that team. Maybe he plays deep and has Rashford and Greenwood counterattack down the wings. Or does he think, okay, now I have to actually change things because this has not been going right. Maybe I play people like Donny. Maybe I get in Sancho. Maybe that week of training, like I've said before, maybe it might be a miracle week of training where they change something and get going again. I mean, I've got to bring up, remember Conte when he had a shocker in that first season
Arsenal,
where he won the title.
Yeah.
Remember he was getting battered for a few games. I thought they were going to be even out of the top 4 race after a bit, and then we saw. I don't think he started with a 5-3-2 or the 3-5-2. He changed it, didn't he?
They lost to Arsenal 3-0 and then he changed it. But you know
what I'm saying, right?
You have to have a tactical mind to do that. And Oli hasn't got that. I'm sorry, I don't want to bring up Prior to Oli, but
so you can't out any chance. You can't out any chance of miracle thinking going, okay.
Absolutely not, man. You got a better chance of Mahatma Gandhi flipping, doing speech at half time. But listen, Oli.
Hey, Sir Alex is a Mahatma Gandhi. He came in to rouse the troops.
Yeah,
remember
look,
he's coming.
I'm not going to ever disrespect Sir Alex. I don't want to get on to him because I don't agree with what he's done. But at the end of the day, right, Oli can't turn this around. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I'd love to be proven wrong, and I've said that too many times. But 3 years into your tenure, and we're still having the same conversations. The guy doesn't know his starting 11. The guy doesn't know who, tactically what to do. The guy doesn't know how to set us up. The guy doesn't know if we're going to press or sit back. I mean, that game against Liverpool is the worst 45 minutes I've ever seen in my life. It's a derby, no passion on the pitch, no one getting stuck into a crunchy tackle. I mean, Paul Pogba gets sent off and gets a lot of abuse for it, but at least Pogba put in a challenge. I mean, okay, granted, he shouldn't have gone over and got sent off, but at least he's trying to take someone out. Where was that? Everyone else has been nice on the pitch. I mean, for me personally, it comes down to the manager at the end of the day. The manager sets the precedent, and it's quite clear that they either don't believe in him anymore, or he hasn't got a clue what he's doing, or a combination of the both. Like for me, you're comparing him to Conte, who's a tactician. Ollie's a great manager. Oh, well, I say great manager, but Ollie's a manager. He's not a coach. I mean, there's a massive difference. You need coaches behind you, and Ollie's biggest mistake is the fact that he hired Mike Phelan, McKenna, and Carrick as his backroom staff. That is the biggest L I've ever seen in my life. If Ollie was the manager and had a proper backroom staff, he probably could have been successful, because in terms of his management, he's done okay in moments. I think he's actually done all right, but in terms of coaching, they're absolutely clueless. And if you can't see that after the Liverpool game, then I mean,
you know what? You know what's weird, and people in the comments, please keep getting your likes and keep getting your comments and keep chatting amongst yourselves. We're going to try and come into the chat, but we're getting into some deep debate already. I just remember, obviously, we all know the interim stage. Ole seemed like he was having that tactical versatility. I don't know.
That's why.
Say again?
It's because, I'll tell you what it is. And I think this happens a lot at Manchester United, because at the interim stage, there was absolutely no pressure on him. I mean, he had nothing to lose. The handbrake was off. He allowed the players to, I don't use the word to express himself, but he allowed the players to play football. He committed bodies forward. A lot of the games, if you go back to the football we were playing, we were creating a lot of overloads in those games. And I think since then, when he got the job, a couple of losses and you already feel the weight of the job in terms of the pressure. The media have got expectations on you. You now have to deliver. You're a Manchester United manager. Prior, no one had absolutely no expectation of Oli when he came in as an interim. There was like, oh, thank God Jose Mourinho's gone. There was a good feel factor in general, because obviously we're happy to get rid of Mourinho. So for me personally, it's just a matter of him being a coward now. That's the way I see it. He's not willing to take the risk. He continues to persist with the two DMs that can't defend. So,
but
me,
surely
that's
then,
the biggest issue.
Surely it's got to get to a point now where, okay, people who are the best kind of minds, they will do their tactical, their tactical brilliance under pressure. And we've seen that, when the pressure hits Ole, he will go to pragmatism and sit back, try and counterattack. Maybe this is the time to go back to what you did in the interim. Then you try something different. Then when you see that you've tried the safe option and it's not working, we're getting battered now. The form is like 3 wins and 8. So it's like I want to see some of that different tactics come back in, like the 4-1-2-1-2 that he did in the FA Cup against Chelsea, where we had in the midfield, where we know that's the engine room. We had Pogba and Herrera running either side of Matic, that was a holding midfielder, and I forgot who the attacking mid was. And then we had like Rashford and Lukaku up front, and we turned over Chelsea. I don't know if you guys remember. We're going back a good few years now, 3 years.
Was that with Guan Mato in the middle?
Say again?
I said, was that with Guan Mato in the middle?
It might have been. It might have even been Andreas Pereira. I don't know, but I think it was Mata. But that's the thing. How can he keep pressing with this kind of thing, where it's not working? I've just got to give a shout out to people getting in here. Please keep it hitting the likes. United Way. I think you should have actually been on here, but you're just chilling in the comments now. Thanks for getting in here. Zen Low. Thanks for getting in here, mate. United gonna have Spurs chicken for dinner. That'd be awesome. Imagine, the team actually redeems. I mean, it's going to take a long time to redeem a 5-0 loss, but imagine beating Spurs 5-0. That could get more fans on side. I mean, not for me. I'm looking at the tactics now. The tactics are not good enough, so not just one result will put me back on side. So yeah. What are you saying, Usman?
Spurs is absolutely irrelevant for the grand scheme of things. Even if you're beating 5-0, don't get me wrong. I mean, buzzing and whatnot, because obviously, we slapped someone. But what does it even mean, like to the team? I mean, we've spent $500 million, and we're sat here talking about a top 4 with 9 games to play. Like, it's only been 9 games, and we're talking about top 4 race. I mean, realistically, G Wolf, do you think we come in the title from where we currently are sat?
No, definitely not.
After 9 games, we've spent $500 million. This is the process. We waited 3 years patiently. You waited 3 years the whole time. And some of us have kind of faltered and left, in terms of, we're early out, etc. But there's a lot of loyal fans that have waited 3 years, right, for this process to come to fruition. And this is their process. We're sat 8 points off top of the table, potentially 11 tomorrow in 9 games. Having spent $500 million, signed arguably the greatest goal scorer of all time. We've got Bruno, Pogba, Rashford. I mean, he's got the team now, and he's still not delivering. So for me, if you beat Spurs 5-0, I will be happy because I'm a fan. But what does it even mean? Because we can't win the Premier League. Okay, if he wins the FA Cup, fair enough, happy days, we win a trophy. But unless he wins the Champions League, this season for me is completely void. It's a waste of a year. Pogba's going to leave. I mean, a lot of people will be happy about that, but Pogba will leave. Martial will leave. Ronaldo's got 1 year left. Cavani's going to leave. And that process is going to have to restart, that rebuilding process. So we've just, in my opinion, it's kind of a waste of 3 years unless he wins those a major trophy, if he stays for that long, that is.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we're getting in deep already. I mean, I'm just going through different thoughts in my mind already. And it's like, I'm just thinking, because I do want Ole to leave. I mean, and this is supposed to be a Spurs preview, but yeah, we're going to get into, what kind of managers we'll think will be in. We know we're linked to Conte, and we know there's other options out there. But I just want to stay on Spurs a bit now. So I want to ask you guys how you think Spurs will go about this game. We'll also know, like I said, Nuno Espirito Santo is also under pressure with Spurs, even though they're above us, and he's not even had a proper transfer window to even get his players in. He's not even had proper time to settle in. He's had 9 games in the Premier League. They're above us. And the thing is that, the fans are not out here. A lot of Spurs fans are not happy already. Expressions, whether them, influential YouTubers is already not happy. But the thing is, how do you think they will set up then? I mean, will they just go about their 4-2-3-1? Do you think they might go a bit more defensive and try and maybe usher us to come onto them, and then they try and counterattack us? That kind of thing. G-Wolf, what do you think? How do you think they will set up?
How Tottenham would set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll go with the 4-2-3-1 like they have been. In all fairness, having Son, isn't it Son normally playing on the left side, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll go through their team
right.
again.
And then
So
but
I'll
I
go
can
through
see in one of the formations that Kane was in the middle of that three.
I don't know,
And then
but I'll
Son
go
was
through
in the middle.
I'll go through that last team for the last game again. Okay, Emerson right back, Romero, Dia centre backs, Reguilon left back, and then their two holding midfielders are Højbjerg and Skip. And then on the wing on the right is Lucas Moura. On the left, we know Hongminson. Their attacking midfielder, their playmaker is Ndombele, and then Kane up top. So do you think they do the same? They do the same kind of thing?
Yeah, I think they do the same.
Yeah, because we know how Nuno can do. We saw it with Wolves. He will have a first half where he's just completely defensive, very frustrating. We saw Man United in the previous seasons. We find it hard to break them down, and then they'd have like a spell in the second half where they just come out guns blazing and have maybe a good quarter of the game just attacking us, like 45 minutes to about 70 minutes attack. So I don't know, because I've not been watching Spurs, but maybe he tries a little thing like that where he tries to sucker us into attacking him.
That might be quite possibly that's what he'll do. As you said, he did it at Wolves. So
okay, fair enough.
It's tried and tested for him, though, isn't it? So he knows what he's doing. Whereas Ollie, he always goes with the same thing. We know what his football is going to be like. Yeah, we want him to change it, but will he though?
But it's a bit weird though, because like we did see something in the last game where, it was weird. The pressing with the 4-2-3-1, and it didn't,
exactly that he came out before the match, and that's what he said, that this is what I want the team to do. We got to press Liverpool straight from the off, and it's like, well, okay, but when you see your strikers pressing the defender and then pressing the goalkeeper when there's literally where they can just stay in their shape rather than just keep on pressing, it's like gung ho. It's like when Piggy plays FIFA, gung ho attack.
Exactly, it's like FIFA settings.
And it was
you can't get away with that. You can't get away with it.
Exactly, you can't. And it was just like, that I just with that first goal, I really can to this day cannot get it out of my head what the fucking defense was doing.
Shambolic.
Yeah,
it was proper shambolic. You're right.
All right, everyone, thanks for getting in here still. United Trustable Source, honestly, no joke. Who did the panel what as manager? Okay, we're gonna save that for near the end. We're gonna talk a bit more about Spurs and Man United and how they're gonna shape up. And then we're gonna get into stuff like that near the end. So people, please stay tuned. We're gonna get into maybe a questions and answers near the end where we've chewed the fat over this preview right here. So thanks for getting in here. Please hit the like, subscribe if you do. And Osman, if you remember the question, then have you been watching Spurs? I mean, what's your views?
Yeah, I have. Basically, my best mate's a Tottenham fan, so he's constantly moaning to me about all the issues. So I know a fair bit. But in terms of the most recent game, I didn't watch the cup game. However, I watched the full 90 minutes against West Ham. I think that was their most recent game in the league, if I'm not wrong. Lost 1-0 to a goal from Antonio. I watched the whole 90 minutes, and for me personally, first half Spurs, they kept the ball fairly well. I mean, they didn't move it with much purpose, I must say. Kind of like Man United with Van Gaal, they kept the ball for the sake of it. They didn't really have a clear idea of what to do with the ball. And in the second half, I mean, West Ham kind of had the chance to go into the game, so to speak. But for me, the issue with Spurs at the moment is, of course, the manager. He's too pragmatic. He's like a Jose Mourinho, but he just doesn't have that X factor in the sense that he doesn't really have a clear philosophy of how to break teams down on the ball. So hypothetically speaking, they basically have the same issues as us, in the sense that they struggle against a low block. Obviously, we struggle against a low block. But what I'm saying, hypothetically speaking, I can imagine this being a very cagey affair. Like literally really tight. Both teams not really showing much quality in the final third. Obviously, there'll be a battle in the middle of the park, but it could just really come down to a defensive mistake to obviously get the W for either team, because the way they have played recently, even against West Ham, they had decent moments in the game, but overall, they really lacked qualities and ideas in the final third. I was really disappointed in the manner in which they were trying to get through to West Ham and trying to penetrate the defence. And it kind of reminded me of Man United, like the way, like how we were under Jose, where we didn't really have a clue how to break teams down. That was how that. Obviously, this is just off the back of one game, so of course it might be an anomaly game. I don't know. I've not watched every game, but the game I saw, Spurs looked shocking, and that's coming from a Man United fan. Like Spurs looked terrible. Like they didn't look like they had any impetus in moving the ball forward with any purpose. It was more of like they're just passing the ball around. Oh, you have it, you have it. That's kind of the vibe I was getting of the players. No one really wanted to take any ownership of the game. So I'm not really worried about what Spurs possess actually in this game. Of course, they've got quality in Kane and Son, but I'm not massively worried.
I was just about to ask you about that as well, because I saw Kane have a good game. From what the highlights were saying, yeah, a good game against Newcastle. Did you see? I was going to ask you about that. Did you see him against Newcastle? Got a goal and assist, and they look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the highlights, but like I said, that's kind of an anomaly in this season for Kane, because it's been absolutely shocking. Like he's been terrible this season. Like
I actually don't know why we've not seen too much criticism about his professionalism. To be honest, because I think he's kind of dropping. He's down tools a bit sometimes, you know. The way he's playing.
I don't know if he's down tools. Like I don't know if it's. I just don't think his heart's in it. That's from what I'm getting from when I see him play. Like,
that's what I meant. Because he's kind of on and off. Because like I said, he was good against Newcastle, but then in the West Ham game, he wasn't that good, like you were saying.
Yeah,
so he's kind of off and on.
Yeah, I'm not defending him, but it just seems mentally he's not there. Like he's fully checked out, basically. Of course, you know they've got their own problems, but yeah, for me personally, of course, Kane's always going to be a problem. You know, he's a quality striker. There's no denying that. But if we play to the ability that I know we're capable, we should really win this game, because they're way worse than us. Like they're actually terrible. And the defense, I know Ice isn't great at the moment, but Dyer, I know he's played well against us in recent years, but Dyer is absolutely shambolic. Is it Royal, I believe, the right back?
I mean, and there's this guy called Ramiro as well, who I saw. He's getting bodied. He was getting bodied by Antonio in that last game. Did you see it?
Yeah,
I did.
He's a good defender, but he's actually been terrible. He's been terrible. He's, like I said, getting bodied. I mean, the whole defense has been terrible. Reguilon not covered himself in much glory either. So for me, we could quite easily beat them 3-0. I'm not going to lie, and I wouldn't even be surprised.
I'm hoping we bounce back, because the players are the most important thing for me at the end of the day, as well as the manager being important. It's like the players are playing out there; they've got to be doing well. So, you know, Ole, you know, if he's going to turn it around, maybe he might do it. But for now, he's got to be getting some performances out of these boys, because you can't keep taking bad losses, because the players will be damaged mentally. So, if we get a nice confidence win, that'd be great. Even if the tactics are off, if we get a nice confidence win, I'd be happy with that. People still getting here. Thanks for getting here. Finley, McCrossen, Evening Boys. Big up to you, mate. Bart, United, Trustful Source already hollered at you, mate. Mega, I can't even say your name. Mega Def Bangkok. Thanks for getting here, mate. OP Dragon, thanks for getting here. Big up to all the legends in the chat. Thanks for that. Guys, thanks for getting your comments in. Like I said, we're going to maybe do like little questions and answers near the end. So please keep getting comments in, keep chatting amongst yourselves, and obviously keep hitting that like. So obviously we've got to because we talked about maybe how the mentalities of the teams are going to be like. So let's talk about the teams then. First off with Man United. I'll start with my team then, and we'll go around, go to G Wolf and then Usman. I'm thinking Ole stays stubborn. I'm thinking, but because of the way he's isolated players like Donny and Sancho, I don't think they're gonna come in and actually play for this manager. I'm thinking it seems like, from what we hear from the media and how you look at little things after the game, you look at interviews, it looks like people are not happy. So if you look at people like Donny, you got to be assuming he's not going to play. He's not going to be good. He's going to be too rusty when he comes in. His mentality may be off. Sancho as well. I mean, he was looking miserable on the bench. Didn't even get used against Liverpool. So, yeah, I think Ole stays with 4-2-3-1. De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw. I think he stays. With McFred. I think for him now, even though I'm thinking maybe there's a chance he might change it up to get some freshness in there, to get for the fans on the side, because the fans always call for a different midfield apart from McTominay and Fred. I think he stays stubborn, goes for McTominay and Fred. But I've made a note that Bruno will be playing. Obviously, he's the Maverick. He's helped save Ole. I think Ole tries to get him to defend a bit more. I think we might see Bruno dropping a bit deeper to actually to cover McTominay and Fred, because we saw them with their pants down against Liverpool. They were exposed so much. We saw Fred having to try and cover at left back, then cover in the center, then just go all over the place. McTominay being stretched apart. So it's like, I think Bruno may be told to, and that's what the manager has to do. He has to discipline players, because I think Bruno's been given a free role too much. And then Rashford on the left. I'm thinking Ronaldo actually gets dropped. That would be a big one for Ole to do. You know, I'm thinking Ole, no chance. I'm thinking Ole puts his foot down. You know, because obviously his job's on the line. I think he puts his foot down, and then we see Cavani come in for that pressing game, that's wanted, and Greenwood on the right. If
Ronaldo gets dropped and we lose this game, you best believe he's getting sacked after this game, because Ronaldo would not allow that. I'll tell you right now.
You see, no player should be bigger than the manager.
To the airport himself.
But Usman, though, no player should be bigger than the manager, isn't it? And if Ole's going to take all of these reins, he's got to put people into, discipline people.
Listen. You're saying, right, no player's bigger than the manager, and I completely agree with that. Of course, I agree with that. However, Ronaldo is not the fighter you want to pick. You've named players in there, right, that do not deserve to wear the shirt again, or potentially not under this manager. The fact, if he picks McFred and drops Ronaldo, I don't care what the score is, he better get sacked at full time. How is McFred keeping their place? Their job is to protect the back four and be 4-0 down at half time. That's their job. Their job's not to dictate play.
So are you thinking then? Are you thinking these new guys come in though and actually play for him and actually do well?
How can McFred keep the place, but Ronaldo can't? If he does that, that is absolutely embarrassing from him. That's embarrassing to me. Because
we've seen Ronaldo doesn't fit in to what Ole wants. He doesn't fit into either counter-attack or pressing from the front. So this is what I'm thinking. Ole grow.
Did we used to press from the front before Ronaldo arrived? Because
we saw Cavani. We saw Cavani would do a lot of that.
We didn't, bro. We used to see
he would chase a lot of stuff down.
No, come on, bro. Cavani and Bruno, we did not press last season. We had moments where Cavani and Bruno would press on as a two.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I'm thinking of. I mean, I know what you mean. We don't press as a team. I'm not talking about the fundamental way. I'm talking about what we've seen from Ole, though. He wants team players to press. That's what I'm talking about.
I still don't think that Cavani pressing on his own is completely irrelevant, because if one person presses on their own, even if Bruno presses with him, you have to press as a 10-man team. You can't press as...
Bro, I'm getting into Ole's mind. You're talking from what?
Forget what I'm thinking.
No, we can't do this. Is the team? He's the manager. We've got to think what he's going to do.
I just want to make clear, right? There's this notion on social media and on YouTube platform that Man United are a worse team because Ronaldo's in the team, right? And the excuse I get is because we don't press as much. We never pressed last season. No. Cavani and Bruno used to press individually. If you want to press, look at Barcelona, prime Barcelona, maybe Liverpool. I don't want to chat about them, obviously. But look at prime Barcelona, and then come back to me and tell me Man United used to press last season, because I didn't see us press once last season, minus maybe RB Leipzig game. But apart from that, we were never a pressing team. So
okay, fair enough. I was just making the point that
not under Ole anyway. We
hold on, J-Wolf. I was making the point from what Ole has done with certain players. He's got certain players to do they're pressed by themselves. I'm just going by how he's thinking. I know it's fundamentally flawed. I know that. But I'm just saying maybe he wants a Cavani. Maybe he wants a Cavani in there to press like he does as as a kind of maverick. But anyway, he wants the energy. But before I miss these super chats, Rushmano is getting in here. Glazers out. Yeah, we're gonna have that. Thanks for getting in here, Rushmano. Rushmano always saying that. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. Someone else put a super chat. Atkins, thanks for getting in here, mate. £1. Yeah, man. Every bit helps, man. Thanks for supporting everyone. Keep liking and subscribing. How many likes? Rushmano always updates us as well. I think was it just there? I thought I saw it anyway. Rushmano, tell us what likes were on, mate. People, please keep hitting the like. G-Wolf, I was going to get into what team you think then before we come to Osman again.
Well,
wait, hold on. Sorry, Avenger Master saying it's getting heated. Blame Usman because I was just trying to say what Ole's going to do. I wasn't talking about the whole fundamental press.
This is just us talking.
Yeah, G-Wolf, man, what are you saying for your predicted team?
He needs to change it, and if he doesn't, then I'm probably be with the Ollie outs because of. At the end of the day, right? He needs to change. He's not changing, and his job is on the line now. So he needs to go with a 4-3-3. He needs to listen to the fans. The fans are screaming out for a 4-3-3 or something different, at least tactically and formation. We are screaming out for it, and he doesn't. He still plays that pragmatic, as you say, 4-2-3 shitty one. It's not good for us. Right, it may be good for other teams, but it ain't good for us. We have always been either a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. That's how I've known United to always play, and that's what we're brilliant at, and that's in our ethos, right? So at the end of the day, this is what Solskjaer needs to do: is change to a 4-3-3. And to tell you the truth, I would pick a total different team as well. I wouldn't pick the same shit that I saw last season. Game.
Before you get into your team, I just got to have Josh Smith be answered right now.
Don't be silly.
Yeah, you guys not supporting the faceless Glazers at the moment, trying to get all kinds of sales they can get.
Not a flipping chance, Josh. Not a chance.
No way.
Don't worry.
Okay, we're on 46 likes. Thanks, Rushmano and United Trustful Source.
Let's get to 50 people. Come on.
Just keep going, guys.
Exactly. Smash that like, people.
Come on, people. Smash the like. Let's get to 50, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. Let's keep going. G-Wolf, say your team then.
Mine's a totally different. So the only player which I would actually still have in the team is David De Gea. Because to tell you the truth, he was... this is the thing. He was best of the shittiest bunch in that team against Liverpool. Right? He was the best player on that pitch. Because to tell you the truth, that
they let him 5
with the amount of even though they let him 5 goals, you think of how many chances that Liverpool had, and then it would have been a hell of a lot more. Right? So I would still pick David De Gea. See, our best apart from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's Dalot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe pick Laird. Is he a right back?
Laird's on loan, isn't it?
Yeah, is he Laird on loan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on loan.
I think he's on loan.
He's on loan, so I've probably got the team wrong, to be fair.
Then I'll pick Dalot then, just to not pick Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Literally, show authority. Solskjaer needs to show authority.
But Dalot can't defend from what we've seen. But
neither can Wan-Bissaka at the moment. Did you see him?
Exactly.
He's 5, bro.
He's got Wan-Bissaka's got credit in the bank. He was told to press, and we saw it's not been patterned up. The defense has not been patterned up to press, and that's when we saw proper. No, that's when we saw Osman. That's when we saw the proper weakness is when he was told to press. When it's not been, you can see it's not properly been worked on. But other than that, he's been top tackler for right back.
Yeah, but we conceded 5, 2 against Atlanta, got battered in that game. Conceded 4 against Leicester, got battered in that game as well. So let's be real nice. It's not like he's covered himself in glory lately.
Well, if Wan-Bissaka gets struck, then maybe everyone else has to. But yeah,
Don't worry, G-Wolf.
This is what I'm saying. So then I'll pick Varane, because if he's fit enough to play, then he'll come straight back into the team. I'll pick Bailly, and then Telles on the left side. In the middle, as I say, I'm going 4-3. I want to see a 4-3-3, and then I would pick Matic, Mata. There was another, and Hannibal. As I say, I want. Yeah, I want to see youngsters in there as well.
When has Hannibal played though? Has he played like pre-season or something?
Yeah, he did play pre-season, and also didn't he start?
G-Wolf, I don't want to be that guy, but you're taking the piss out of Donny if Hannibal's getting a game over Donny, right?
I don't even know where Hannibal plays. I've not even seen him.
It's only because of Ollie won't pick Donny because he's got some.
Is this not the team we're picking? Because Ollie's not picking the team.
If it's the team that I'm picking, then yeah, I'll definitely pick Donny.
Because he's not picking this team.
I was picking a team. I was picking a team of what I think Ollie will do. Ollie would. That's the realistic thing. What's the point of dreaming right now? Because we know Ollie is stuck in his ways. So I don't know. I think it's a waste of time trying to put our dream team in. I changed the formation. I changed loads of things. But, I don't think.
I think he'll change. I think Ollie will change the formation. If he doesn't, then he's just stupid and stubborn. And as I said, he needs to. It is sort of like he's, as someone said, he's hanging the noose. Someone's hanging the noose of hanging the rope. What's that saying? Hanging the rope to hang himself, sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just want to get into this. Did you say your whole team just then? Yeah.
No. And then what I'll do is I'll pick Sancho, Cavani, and CR7. Then I think he'll pick CR7.
Cavani on the right then.
No. So Sancho will go on the right, CR7 on the left. And then Cavani up the middle.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait, you mean like
4-3-3?
Yeah. So you've said Ronaldo as well, right?
Yeah, he's put Ronaldo left wing, Sancho right wing, Cavani up top.
There you go.
Wow, Ronaldo doesn't have legs though for that wing job, man. I was even saying to Osman, like the step overs from Ronaldo look like they made out of wood nowadays, man. They look wooden, man. But no, I don't disrespect the legacy. What it's like now, it's a bit painful to see him running after things. It's a bit, it's a bit slow to the ball. It's good over 5 yards, but a little bit, we can see the wear and tear, man. It's there. That has to be said. No,
I still think that he can still do a job on the left or right wing. Wherever you put him, because he will always fight for. He will always try and fight for United, because you see the passion that you see his passion. That's the only thing. It's like did you see that tackle he did when we was 10 men down?
Yeah, man, that's what we need, passion. But there's interesting comments coming in. Avenger Mass, thanks for getting in here. He will play 3-5-2 at Spurs.
Yeah, he's getting prepared for Conte. I like that. He's just giving Conte ideas. That's what it is.
Hey, well, the bigger picture is to help the team. So he's laying down the template. Maybe that's good.
He's a visionary. So obviously we're doing what Ollie would do, what we think Ollie would do in it. That's correct, right?
Yeah. I mean. You can do what you want now. I'm just saying. I would like to do what Ole would do because
I think what G Wolf said in terms of wholesale changes is what I personally think he should do. I mean, as I mentioned right at the start of the show, a lot of those players don't deserve to be playing this weekend. There's no way. But Ole, being the guy he is, the back four would stay the same most likely. Lindelof will probably come out for Varane. Apart from that, don't think he'll change anything else. Of quotes David De Gea, as G Wolf correctly said.
Oh, yeah.
He was arguably still probably how many of my team have conceded 5 goals, which says a lot, given how poor we've been of late. But moving to the midfield, I mean, this is where I'm kind of torn, because a part of me wants him to flip the script and play Donny and swallow his pride, because I think this midfield should be Matic, Donny, and Bruno. Gives us perfect balance in a 4-3-3, as G Wolf said. You know, you've got Matic to sit there, you've got Donny to play the box to box, and you've got Bruno to play the more advanced role. It's a perfect blend. However, Oli will not do that because it's Oli Solskjaer. So I'm not going to waste my time on it. I don't want him to play Donny because I want him to die on his sword. He has made it his duty to basically extradite Donny van der Beek from this squad. So please do not put him in this team now, because for me, it's a bit of a cop-out. So I hope he stays true to his stubbornness. I don't want to see these guys playing, but you got to stay true to your guys now because you need them. McFred, for me, you got to play them. It's as simple as that. You've not played Donny. You've made it clear he's not your guy. So make sure you play McFred, because if Donny comes in and puts in the performance, I mean, it's a bit, I don't know, I just don't like the feeling of that. But yes, it's going to go McFred, he's going to go Bruno. I mean, that picks itself. Front three is interesting because I do think there's a potential he'd put Cavani in. However, the only way he puts Cavani in if he actually changes more of the team, like wholesale changes, then Cavani gets into the team. I can't really see him singling Ronaldo out as one of the players to take out. I mean, if he takes out 5 players, then Ronaldo could be part of the 5. But if he takes out 2 players, I can't imagine one of them be Ronaldo, if that makes sense. Because I just don't think Ollie's got the cojones to do that, to be quite honest with you. So Ronaldo stays up top. Marcus Rashford's got to stay as left wing. And Mason Greenwood, or maybe Sancho. I think Sancho is probably the potential change. So the only changes I think Ollie's going to make from us losing 5-0, which blows my mind, is Sancho for Greenwood and Varane for Lindelof. So 2 changes from a team that lost 5-0.
Yeah.
I personally would change 7 players, but I'm not only going to Solskjaer. So I think they're the 2 changes.
You tempted me. You tempted me to change my predicted centre backs now, because I forgot Varane is actually being. They're saying that he's fit now, but
he is.
Like I said,
he trained yesterday.
He's had a week of training with Martial as well. But I'm saying though, why? I mean, I don't know why I'm going to ask why, because we know Ole rushes people back in. But it's like, aren't you going to for one? Isn't he for once going to learn to not rush players back in?
Yeah, I mean, he'll push him in and get injured, and it is or isn't it? It's a standard thing, isn't it? But like for me personally, the whole back four, basically what G was said, none of them should keep their place. I mean, just conceded 5 goals. McFred can't keep their place. I just want to make this clear. This is what we think Ollie's going to do. This is not what we would do. That back 6 would not see the light of day. They better be on the bench. Not if you conceded 5 goals to Liverpool, bench all 6 of them. I don't care about the front line because they barely got a kick. But them 6 players had to be on the bench. But we'll see what Ollie does. If he doesn't bench him, for me, that's embarrassing in itself. That's just my personal opinion.
I think even if he just keeps 1 or 2 of them in.
Yeah, maybe Wan-Bissaka or the Shaws maybe of the world. But the rest of them need to be seen bench.
Exactly. It's like I think Shaw definitely shouldn't play
Shaw's
in that game.
Terrible.
That last game, the amount of mistakes that he kept on doing against them. He was supposed to be marking Salah. Right?
This is the thing, though, G Wolf. He was pulled to the left and then pulled inwards as well to try and cover Maguire because there wasn't enough people covering for Shaw as well. He had 2 people.
Exactly.
He had Salah. And then Keita kept getting forward to overlap. So but then
why didn't McTominay or Fred?
There wasn't enough communication to have people pick up certain runners. And then we saw Bruno allowed that midfield to be naked. He should have come back to help that defense, that midfield. So
I agree, but
I think that Fred and McTominay should have come back a lot more to help that defense.
Yeah. I mean, that's
but then also, I think that Shaw should have man-marked Salah and just literally just used him. We've seen him pocket him before, but he didn't this time. He just went wondering. It was headless chickens. We was a bunch of headless chickens in that game.
These are the things that the manager's got to see on the sidelines, and I don't know how. I mean, the manager's there to be the conductor. We see managers throw up the signs, like Pep draws the diagrams. We've seen even Arteta does it, and he's apparently a rookie. You get a message to the players to do certain things in the game. If you see people getting overrun, you tell people. You get a message across. I don't know if you could get a note on like Mourinho used to do. He used to get little written notes on. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, send some kind of messenger pigeon onto the pitch. You do something to help the team, man. You know, this is where the top managers help to win games, in my opinion. Someone was asking in here. I don't know if they lost it now. Whoever was asking if Piggo's going to be on later, he's usually on every night with FIFA late on. So it might be like, but late night session, like 10 o'clock, more likely 11 o'clock. But have your notifications on, and yeah, Piggo's mostly on with. He mostly plays like the ultimate team, but he might do like the career mode from time to time.
His ultimate team sessions actually cracked me up. I'm not gonna lie. I was tuning in really late, like 2 a.m., and he's always losing. Every time I tune in, he's always on bad luck. So I do apologize.
All right, yeah, big up to Joel Harrison. Thanks for everyone getting in here. 60 likes. Yes, guys. Thanks for rating the content. It's been I mean, it's not been fiery, but we've had quite a few with contentious points. So yeah, thanks for hitting the likes, guys. Subscribe if you're new. So we need to do the scores. I was really thinking to myself about all the tactics. We've had so many things we've discussed now. I couldn't even come up with a score properly that I'm like 100%. Yeah, that's what I would bet on. I don't bet nowadays, by the way. It's one of the awful addictions I used to have. It's a really, really bad kind of thing to be doing. So my score, I would go. I think it'd be a 1-1. I think it. I've actually made a note. It would be a boring 1-1. I think both teams will actually, because it's dubbed the El Sacico. I'm thinking the managers are on Twitter looking at what people are like saying, and they're saying, "Oh no, our job's on the line. We might have to park it, and play it safe." So
they're probably looking for tactics as well, man. They're both clueless, but they're looking for tactics on Twitter.
Wow.
How do you play good football, Twitter? Please.
They're probably going to YouTube as well, looking up like the Statman, like Statman Baines and Statman Hayes. Like, how do I play some of these tactics? No, that's embarrassing still. Yeah, so yeah, G-Wolf. Yeah, what do you think?
What am I going for? No, fuck it. I think that we're going to be 3-1.
Oh, okay.
G-Wolf, I love it.
You see, I
hear
hear optimism there, but what's your real score? Or is that for real?
1-0.
Okay, Man United win either way, yeah.
But the only thing is, I think Man United will come out attacking. I really do. That's what I really think. That's what they're going to do. They would want to put the Liverpool result to bed, and literally they're going to come out attacking and literally go for it.
Wow. Before I come to your husband, yeah, some people are thinking a bit like me, like 0-0. Yeah. I would hate to see that. Thanks for getting in here, Josh Smith. Chacha India Spurs, thanks for getting in here, mate. 0-0. Oh man, everyone's thinking draw at the moment. People keep getting in your predictions 2-2 from Charlie Anthony. That would be a nice score draw would be good. I mean, not nice for the result, but just you know what? Yeah, I'm on the floor as a fan right now. I'm like, I just want some entertainment and then possibly just a result right now. I mean, even 1-1.
We was entertained at Atlanta, though, weren't we? Really, let's be real. 3-2 win. That second half was very entertaining, wasn't it? To be fair,
but 5-0 erases a lot of that previous roller coaster. It erases the Villarreal comeback for me. It just, I mean, the form's 3 wins out of 8. It's bad.
Not bad at Villarreal. I was at the game.
Bart just gets in here with some realness. Okay, that's for now. For now, that's happening.
I'm not.
I mean, I get it off the screen, but yeah, for now, Man U's got a lot of work to do, man. Bart saying 1-1, Mega Death Bangkok 1-1. Thanks for getting in here.
It's like, United can come out and totally surprise us and do a lead and
And lose 5-0.
like they.
Yeah, I know you're right, you.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say go out and literally annihilate Tottenham Hotspur
I mean, I would have to
5-1 or 6-1 or something like that.
Usman, what you thinking then, man?
Come on,
Will
at the
there,
start of the season, we beat Leeds 5-1.
yeah, will there be an annihilation
Leeds
for
play
any team?
open football. This is going to be pragmatic FC vs pragmatic FC. This one. For me personally, I agree with Eddie, man. I think it's going to be a really boring game. I mean, this isn't going to be a classic. Let's just put it that way. I'm just going to say Man United 1-0, just because obviously I've got a backwards at the end of the day. I can't see it being a draw, but they're so shit, Spurs. Honestly, I know that's a cop-out coming from a Man United fan, but they're absolutely shocking. I've watched a couple of the games lately, and they look a void of ideas. They're really bad. Like, as G-Wolf said, if we actually come out and attack them, we can blow them away quite easily. I know they're probably thinking the same thing about us, wounded animal and all that good stuff. But yeah, come on, surely we beat the Spurs team. These lot are terrible. So
you know what happens when you bite a
win.
wounded animal, though, don't you?
Absolutely, it comes back fighting. Come on, lads, kill one.
There you go.
Yeah, guys, keep getting in your predictions. Jarvis Cocker, I hope we win 2-1. But most likely 1-1. Yeah. You said something earlier about Mark Goldbridge in here. I think Jarvis Cocker, I didn't even want to acknowledge your comment, but no one comes on here like trying to copy people. I don't try and copy Mark Goldbridge or anyone like that. I'm
Goldbridge from history.
Look, man. I mean, yeah, I think it was Jarvis that was saying that, but I'm saying like I've got my own brain. A lot of points, all of my points that I make are on what I can't even speak right now. All my points are reflective of what I think because I watch the game. I'm very analytical. I think too much, which sometimes works against me. So I love to look at tactics and all of that kind of stuff. So obviously, people are going to have similar opinions. There's loads of people that will be like there's loads of people that will be watching that will have a similar point to G Wolf or a similar point to Usman. So it's like no to come on here and just be like shameless and just copy someone's. Because copy someone's point of view, it's like it's robotic. It's pointless. What's the point of doing that?
I feel like a lot of Man United fans are probably feeling the similar way. I mean, I think it's kind of like what you said there and what obviously I said in particular, well, me and you in particular, because obviously you're on one side of the fence, is it kind of the general consensus of the fan base at the moment. Obviously, I know G-Wolf you're still on the other side of the fence, of course, which is obviously by all means, each their own, should we say. But I think a lot of Man United fans on both sides of the fence are feeling the same. Obviously, the people on G-Wolf's side are all saying the same things, from what I've seen anyways. The people on our side of the fence are all saying the same things as well. So it's not like any rocket science. So I don't think there's any.
It's not. That's the thing.
Imitation. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a bit of.
Yeah. It's not rocket science.
That's the thing. At the moment, I'm just on the fence about Ollie because of his job is on the line. He does need to change it up. And literally, if he keeps on staying with that same tactic, and especially with that, literally that formation.
If you know Maguire's playing tomorrow, me and you know Maguire's playing tomorrow, and if we don't get a result, they're going to be tweeting, "Let's bounce back against Atlanta." We know the script, we know it.
Yeah.
So they better just win tomorrow. That's the way I see it. I mean, I don't really care about the performance.
If Maguire plays tomorrow, then he's literally the last few. Well, you would say from the start of the season. Me, I would say from the last 3 games that I've seen him, right, that he hasn't been up to standard. He hasn't been up to par, especially as what he was last season. When he went injured 3 games. At the end of last season, and we played Lindelof and who was it? Twanzebe and Baye. Yeah, especially in that final, everyone was saying we miss Maguire.
Yeah.
We needed Maguire for those last 3 games. Now we're saying now we need Varane in the last 3 games.
Yeah, but that's because Varane's come in and shown what a real centre back looks like. Because Maguire's probably better than those two. Varane has then gone to the next level. So for me personally,
You know what? Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. The thing is, we're talking about players, but it always comes back to how these players are guided, and the way we see that big. I mean, in your third season, you're only in your third season. You come to a point where you don't know how to do a team press. How do you not do that as a top manager?
Yes,
So
it's diabolical.
that kind of it does kind of compromise talking about. Oh yeah, we needed Maguire here. Oh, Shaw was good here. It's like they're playing good in different uh, veins of form, but the team, it's like we see it. We see it's not rocket science, like Usman was saying. We see that the team can't do some basics. It's kind of ridiculous that I don't like to reference Leeds, but I reference them. I mean, especially last season. This season a little bit whack, but their rotation and all their kind of 1-2s in midfield, all these things that we're doing, their player runs, all these repetitive things in the formula they were doing, and hey, you can shoot me down, yeah, but I was enjoying watching Leeds a bit more last season. Shoot me down, go on, do it. I'm not saying I was supporting them, but it comes back to if you give Leeds to Ole, are you seeing rotation? Are you seeing a press game? Are you seeing all these things?
Absolutely not.
This is why it's not like that. I don't really agree with the agenda anymore of people being against Ole. We want the team to do well. Rushmana was saying here, why don't we come together and support the team? I want to come and support this team, but I'm also a fan of football and I'm a fan of longevity. I don't want to keep seeing the money heist football where we're literally in the game and we're stealing the win. We're snatching it.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
No week in,
Greenwood.
week out anyways, man. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all well and good. Sometimes we get the roller coaster win, like against Villarreal, against Atlanta.
Young boys.
No, we lost that one. I'm talking about roller coaster win. You know what I mean? But,
No, not that. I meant the previous. Didn't we win that one, or did we? Or was it that when we went on a losing
They
one?
lost that, mate.
No. I know that we lost to the Young Boys, but the one after the Young Boys.
Villarreal.
Yeah, then we won, didn't we?
G-Wolf, you broke my foot, man.
So?
G-Wolf, I was flowing. But the point is, we need to see fundamentals and basics done. We all want to support the team. This is, for me, yeah, there has become sometimes about Ole in versus Ole out, yeah, but we all want the team to win. And for me, Ole, if he's not even showing fundamentals of the pressing, I mean, I don't know how challenging it is, but if you're a top manager at a top team, that should be a basic of knowing how to press. And then we get into all the intricacies of, okay, what runs the players making for the attack, what kind of 1-2s of people doing.
I mean, Ali said in a press conference, I don't know if it was recent or old, but he said he doesn't care for the intricacies of football. Yeah. Have you seen that press conference?
I've seen that, and I was
I mean, that's
very disappointed.
To know.
I was very disappointed.
I mean, at least he's true to his word, because it's quite clear he's not shown any in-depth analysis or attention to detail, because it's quite evident on the football pitch. So he's not just saying, he actually is applying the fact that he doesn't really care. I mean, could you imagine Pep saying that? Can you imagine a Klopp saying that? I mean, tiny details are the difference between winning and losing in the majority of sport, not just football.
Got a good question for you.
Manager said that.
Got a good question for you there, Avenger Mass. Thanks for getting here.
No. Oli, the only way I'll become Oli in is if you win the Champions League or the Premier League. That is the only way. Because for me personally, right, we gotta be real. We've spent £500 million, right? Just process that for a second. We spent £500 million British pounds on building a team. We got told to trust the process, and every time when you come to the end of a process, or you come to the sort of obviously the climax of the process, so to speak, you expect success. You expect at least the bare minimum challenging. We aren't even in the conversation, and it's 9 games into the season. People have written us off for the Champions League. People have written us off for the Premier League. FA Cup, after spending £500 million, is irrelevant to me. I would take it, but it doesn't mean that Ollie's at the wheel, so to speak. And for me, the only way Ollie can turn it around, or Ollie can be successful, if he stays to the end of the season, if he wins the league, or wins the Champions League. Anything else, he has massively underachieved. I mean, Jose won 2 trophies and spent way less and had way worse team. So who's been more successful? For me at the moment, it's Jose Mourinho. So yeah, Oli can't turn it around by winning 3 games. It's completely irrelevant to me.
All right. I was looking at what Joe Harrison was putting in here, and he said, "Trust the process." And I was going to ask you, Wolf, are you still on that kind of mentality or philosophy? I don't know if it's even a philosophy. It's just like a phrase to me at the moment because I'm not seeing
Trusting
what's
that
going to get that
process.
process going. But he actually came up with relegation
process.
So it's kind of trolling. But anyway, I'll make it a real question anyway. So I've heard Pigo say on his his videos, he's still not saying like Ollie out. He's saying, okay, he criticizes Ollie. We're allowed to criticize people that we love. Yeah, that's how you make them get better, isn't it? Especially if I wish the board was helping Ollie. I don't know if they're actually taking him into the office and saying, okay, Ollie, this football. It's not good enough. Maybe we need to see something different. But it's like Pigo was saying, okay, if Ole can win these next series of games, maybe he can turn this around. So that means maybe he might still trust in the process. Wolf, are you still on that kind of thinking? If can Ole get this process going again, and maybe do like last season, and we go on another good run, and then you're trusting the process?
Not really. I'm not really trusting the process. I just want to see good attacking football. Now, if Ollie can produce that, then brilliant. If not, then if we still see that pragmatic 4-2-3-1, then that's it. I'm done. Because that formation, that formation is really doing my head in now. For literally seeing that week in, week out, that 4-2-3-1, that is severely pissing me off, and because he's not changing his ways. Everyone is calling for it. Everyone is calling for a different formation, a different tactics, different style of play. We're not getting that. It's the same shit every single week in, week out. At the end of the day, he needs to change it.
Yeah.
For me. And if he doesn't, and now, after that Liverpool loss, now his job is on the line. Literally, Conte. I'm not saying that we should have Conte, but it looks like Conte is going to be the next manager of Manchester United.
You get into my next question. You get into my next question there. So there's quite a few things to even ask about that. I mean, we've seen Conte has. There's been reports that's come out that he's saying he's open to the job, but obviously there has to be a lot of terms agreed. He needs to have football in control. He needs to have the proper independence as a manager. He's not just a coach, he's a manager. He wants to have that control over the football dealings. We saw that he left Inter after the team wanted to, sell people to make up for their COVID deficit. They sold his big man Lukaku. He wasn't. I think that was a breaking point when they sold Lukaku. Conte was like, "I'm out because you're not letting me have control over the squad now." So, do we see, do we see Conte? I'm going to ask you this, Osman, actually. Do we see Conte coming in? I mean, maybe this is not your preferred manager.
Yes.
Actually, let me ask you that first, then, before I even ask that. Who is your preferred guy that you think is realistic to come in?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of realistic, I think there's only real 3 names: Conte, Zidane, and potential Brendan Rodgers. The only reason I mentioned Brendan Rodgers is because he's an actual snake, and he will leave mid-season, as he's already done from Celtic to Leicester. So there's a potential that he would do that. The other managers, Ten Hag, I don't think that's realistic. Luis Enrique, I don't think that's realistic as it currently stands. So out of the 3, Brendan Rodgers, Conte, and Zidane, my number 1 would be Zidane, Conte second, Brendan Rodgers. I don't want him at Manchester United, full stop. I mean, ex-Liverpool manager, so I don't want him at all. But in terms of Conte, I think Conte is the most likely. So we'll just discuss it because I don't think Zidane's coming. Regarding Conte, the pros to Conte is the fact that he is very, very meticulous and he has a way of playing, as we know. But his attention to detail, the way he sort of gets his players believing in his sort of philosophy is a real testament to him. I've seen an interview with Ashley Young and who's talking on Talksport. He was talking about Ashley Young, obviously, they go way back with the Villa days and whatnot. And he was speaking to Ashley Young about Conte, and obviously he was saying to him, look, how is Conte? You won league title, etc., etc. And Ashley Young was basically saying, Conte demands us to be at physical optimum in terms of running is integral in every training session. He ensures that the fitness of our upper echelons in terms of elite football, you're right at the top in terms of your running numbers, and in every single training session is really intense. And for me personally, Ryan, as someone who doesn't really want Conte, I feel like everything I'm hearing about him, his demeanour, that kind of thing, it seems like he's a good fit for what we currently need with the players we've got at the squad. He's coming in, he's going to put a rocket up some of these guys' asses. He ain't going to take no shit from no one, which is definitely something we need. We've got a lot of snowflakes in the squad at the moment. Let's be real. I know people don't like that term, but I'm going to say how it is. That is the current term that people use. People that, they don't like to be criticised. People that, they've not really had that real criticism in terms from the manager. Ollie's very nice. Jose Mourinho was a completely different extreme to Ollie. So he's gone from one extreme to the other in that sense. But when he's one who's going to meet in the middle ground, he's got a bit of ball to him. So for me, his personality will fit what we currently need. He's got the mentality of a winner, i.e. Ronaldo. They'll be able to relate on that. And he's going to demand elite sort of mentality from the players. And that's what we're missing at Manchester United at the moment.
Yeah.
None of this nice, let's finish fourth, high five, back on top nonsense.
That was working for a bit. That was working for morale, but yeah, you gotta have a balance.
But he's gonna demand success because he's had it everywhere. So for me, if Conte comes in, it means to me that he's coming in to win. And I know Jose Mourinho was that guy, but obviously he was past it when he came. Conte is at the he's at the top of his game at the moment. He's doing wonders at Inter Milan. He's doing wonders elsewhere. So for me, it would be a good appointment for the current climate. Longevity, it's an absolute shambles of appointment. But if you're looking for the here and now in terms of success, Conte is a no-brainer.
But would you be happy? But would you be happy with defensive football week in, week out?
That's the myth, man.
Right, the thing is, right, there's a notion that Conte plays pragmatic football. I personally don't think he does. I mean, Inter Milan was one of the I think they were the top 3 teams to score in terms of goals scored in Europe. Obviously, it's an easier league, so of course, there's a bit of disparity with how many goals because it's easier to score there. But I don't think they play as boring football as people make it out to be. And in saying that, I mean, Ollie's not pulling up any trees, and people seem to be lapping it up at the moment for whatever reason. So it can only be better than what Ollie's producing on a regular basis. I don't think Zidane's going to come, so I don't really want to go down that road of that.
Okay, but I just got to come in there because I'm what I'm going to say. Yeah, I want Conte to come in because of that discipline, even if it's for a couple of seasons. Yeah, there's a myth that he leaves things in shambles. There's teams that he's left that just keep going on to win things anyway. Juventus that he left, and they were actually in a state where they went on to win things. Chelsea, as we know, went on to win things. He doesn't leave a shit show like Jose does.
Inter aren't doing that bad. They're still third, and they lost 2 of their best players, like Kimi and Lukaku.
So you hear my point. You hear my point. Then it's like we may need this kick up the ass, to get people disciplined, to get people playing their optimum football, to get them doing the top of their potential. I heard some people were commenting on Pigo's last stream. They're a little bit worried about maybe certain players won't fit into Conte's style of football. Someone was saying Greenwood may be left out, and then he may recede as a player. But I'm thinking it's got to be the team over individuals. Whoever's going to fit into a team, surely it's got to be the team rather than worrying about individuals.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, it depends on what he plays. If he plays a 3-5-2, I mean, I don't really see Greenwood digressing that much because obviously he'll have more opportunity to play up front, which is where we realistically want him to play. But if he plays the 3-4-3, the players that are currently playing on the wing, the likes of the Sanchos, obviously, Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, Cavani, Ronaldo, they're all going to be okay because there's still 3 spots for them to play. So it depends on the formation. But for me, at the end of the day, regarding the Greenwood thing, what is he, 19, 20? we don't need to worry about the guy too much. He's got the talent. But like you said, we need that mentality. We need that winner's mentality to come in and breed that into the team and put in the foundation of the new crop of players, because we don't have that at the moment.
That's what we need, man. People that sing games are getting in here. Thanks for getting in, mate. Would you be? Hold on, Joe, 1 second. Would you be happy seeing United go 5 at the back against people like Villa? Does that not tell you that the players are not good enough? You see, this is the thing. Yeah, I just got to answer that real quick. Yeah, the thing is with Ole's not Ole, with Conte's 5-3-2, that could interchange into 3-5-2.
Why did he say Villa? So we're not playing Villa, we're playing Spurs.
It's just for,
no. I think he's just saying against a lesser team.
Oh, yeah. It's just for an example. Just for an example. But the thing is, when I've even seen Conte when he was at Chelsea. There was some games I was watching where I was actually liking the football. It wasn't defensive all the time. It was he's tactically versatile. He can change it from 5-3-2 to 3-5-2. He has a team transition and they're organized, and he's a passionate guy on that sideline. He's gonna get the passion and he's gonna get the organization.
The fans
so I see him working.
Absolutely love him.
I see him working. We're at 71 likes, 72 likes
to 80
now.
people.
Thanks
Come on, let's go.
Everyone, thanks for staying
See,
here.
This is the question which I was going to ask. Yeah, does he actually play youngsters as well? Does he produce youngsters from the
well, Ole's not even doing that now, is he? So,
but he has done though.
No,
every manager has done. But what does Conte? Didn't he bring in Greenwood?
Who did?
Ole.
No, he didn't. Didn't Jose give Greenwood his opportunity?
No, I thought it was I thought it was Ole.
I mean, giving Greenwood a chance, with all due respect, that's not really rocket science, is it?
Yeah, Greenwood was always going to come through anyway.
It was quite evident that this kid's going to set the world alight. He's a generational talent, so...
Yeah, because it's not like, you remember when Van Gaal was at the team, Van Gaal was playing people like Jackson, he was playing people like Varela, right? But these guys were unknown talents, They didn't have player of the season in the academy like Greenwood did. Greenwood was always going to come through. He's player of the year.
Yeah, Greenwood's true talent.
But it takes a top coach to trust average talent coming through and coach them.
Exactly, like Louis Van Gaal with Rashford.
Can I just interject?
Yeah, that one as well.
Yeah, we got a better man. Gomez. What did Ole do with Gomez? Mount kept putting him in squads, never subbed him on. I mean, he used to use Pereira over Gomez. So for me, this notion that Ole has brought through the youth, if anything, he's sold Gomez, who was a star in the academy, and now he's flying. And then played Pereira when Pereira dropped absolute stinkers week in, week out.
Yeah,
I still gave his minutes to Pereira over Gomez. So I think it's a bit of a cop-out.
That's fair enough.
Regarding Conte, I don't think he's got a track record of playing youngsters. I'm not going to sit here and try to, and of course that is a key component of Man United's DNA of foundation of the club. So I'm not going to sit here and BS an answer because I don't think he has got a track record of that. However, what I will say is he made Barella into an absolute monster. Like Barella has gone absolute levels under Conte. Of course, Barella, similar to Greenwood, had the talent. There was no denying that. But I think with Conte last season and the way he dealt with Barella and the way he gave him a position, I mean, Barella was absolutely phenomenal in that that league title winning. So I think Barella's really benefited from Conte. So I do think Greenwood can benefit from Conte. I don't see why he can't. And if anything, if Conte comes in and plays a 3-4-3, Greenwood's going to be in a position where he doesn't have to track back, because obviously you've got the wing backs tracking back, and he's going to have more license to do more damage going forward. So if anything, he'd probably get more opportunities to play in a position where he's more familiar with, rather than playing on the wing, if that makes sense. So it might actually benefit him in the long run. We don't know. Obviously, Conte's not the manager yet, so it's just hypothetical, isn't it, really?
Okay, guys. We're gonna wrap it up there then. Actually, we're still on a few more minutes. Then people just get in some questions that you want us to answer then before we come off, because we've not been able to get into, or I've not been able to get into too many comments because we've had quite an in-depth discussion as you've been listening to. So yeah, we're still on for about 5-10 more minutes, and just get in.
Wasn't there
any questions you want to have us answer? What's that?
I was going to say, wasn't there a question at? Oh no, we answered that. Who did we want as manager and all that at the beginning? Wasn't there?
Who do you guys want as a manager? Because I don't think you lot answered that. I feel like I answered it.
Me personally, I would either pick the Dortmund manager, which is that Rose, or Ten Hag. Me personally, that's who I want.
Yeah, but are they realistic right now though? Because I don't think that 10 Hag
At the
is.
moment, no, because we're halfway through the season. Though
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think. I think we'll have to wait until the end of the season. But
Yeah.
can we really wait until the end of the season
I mean,
with
we might be
this?
relegated by then, but you know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Don't say that.
No, I'm joking.
Okay, this is an interesting one for Johnny. Thanks for getting in here, mate. What do we do with the midfield? Ideal setup, in your opinion? So this is going to, kind of what Usman wanted to do, which is play an ideal team, and so did G-Wolf, actually. Maybe if we make time next time, like we'll do a team where we think Ole will play this team, and then we'll talk about our ideal team, if you know what I mean. But this is only this is only talk about midfield. So yeah, I mean, my ideal midfield is having three in there and having that number 6, that holding midfielder that just protects the defense and he doesn't go past the halfway line. He just is like a sweeper almost in front of the defense. And you have your 2 box-to-box midfielders. You have, I mean, Pogba, I've seen him do it before on the Ole, and that was the interim stage when, pressure was off, as Usman's saying. And then I think Van der Beek, given the chance, could do a number 8 role. So yeah, I would have a 6 and 2 8s and have those 2 8s do box to box, and then yeah, that's what I
Sounds
would
like
have.
you'll have
Yeah.
me, Bruno, Donny, and Pogba in midfield.
Pogba.
Yeah, or you could swap Bruno with a Pogba or Van der Beek. You would have to try a little bit, but I'd give Van der Beek a chance, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely
Yes.
will.
Yeah, what's your midfield then?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine. Yeah, mine's Bruno, Pogba, and Donny.
Okay, so you do that kind of holding midfielder,
Yeah.
then 2 box to box midfielders.
Yep.
Right. And Osman, what
And
you
then
saying,
have
man?
Donny staying back.
I mean,
Right.
is this when everyone's fit or not suspended or?
It was an open-ended question. It's just your ideal midfield.
I mean, it might not be a popular opinion, but probably got Matic, Pogba, and Van der Beek. I know Bruno Fernandes is obviously not in there. I'd probably play Bruno a bit further up. I mean, he's not using Sancho anyway, so you could potentially put Bruno on the right wing. I know that's not going to be popular opinion either, but potentially like give him a floater role, so to speak. Obviously, depending on the opposition, of course, you want to see Sancho play, but just to give a bit more creativity in the final third. But in general, I'd say Matic, Pogba, and Bruno. I think Oli kind of missed a trick when he had that midfield in post-lockdown. Matic, Pogba, and Bruno were absolutely phenomenal as a 3. And I'm a bit surprised he's not really gone back to that because I had such success in that period. So, yeah, for me, I'll probably go back to that if I was on it.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be the last question because we've been on almost an hour and a half, guys. Pigo's got to get on later on as well and do his a FIFA thing. So please stay, keep your, well, not stay tuned. Obviously, you got your things to do. Just keep your notifications on. Pigo will be on later, maybe 11 o'clock. So he'll be on to cheer you guys up, get us, get you ready. I mean, hopefully we got you ready for the game, but Pigo will be on later with some banter to help you guys get in the mood as well. I want to answer this one before we leave. It's very interesting. Who do we think should be the captain? Because Maguire
what a question.
is not up to it. He's not up to it. Maguire, we can see just by the eye test, even by the performances. So when I say eye test, we're not seeing him talk to players in terms of guiding players. I'm not seeing that enough. I'm not seeing like when the shit hits the fan and then there's some beef and then people are tussling. I'm not seeing Maguire get in there and defend Ronaldo when Ronaldo's trying to kick someone's balls on the ground. I'm not seeing them get in there and trying to mitigate the circumstances. I'm not seeing enough of this behavior. And then the performances is Chuckle Brother level. I've said it. Him and Shaw are Chuckle Brothers right now. R.I.P. to the actual actor that played one of the Chuckle Brothers. But I'm talking about the actual show. But Man United are playing like that, and Maguire is one of the guys. So I'll get to it then. I say Bruno should be the captain because he's been in that team for longer, and he's one of the best players there. When we've seen him on form, the goals and assists. But the thing is, the manager also has to discipline him as well in terms of helping midfield. But I don't think anyone else is worthy of being the captain at the moment. So I'd go Bruno. So yeah, Usman, what do you think though?
I actually disagree.
Okay.
What a shot.
Yeah.
Listen, it's for conversation, yeah. But listen, first things first, regarding Harry Maguire, I say this very respectfully. He might be the worst captain Man United have ever had in the history of the football club. Absolutely embarrassing as a captain. I mean, of course, people will probably brand out other names. I'm sure there's other names out there, but
I got one.
I'll go on then. Go on. Let's have a quick listen.
Ashley Young.
Nah, I'm not. I'm saying Maguire still. I mean, at least Ashley Young would get involved in fights. Like, I don't want to. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Maguire. Where was he when Ronaldo was getting 1v7 and Bruno's there, Fred's there? But for me personally, right, the captaincy has to be one of two people. Bruno Fernandes, I was all for Bruno Fernandes being captain, but as you mentioned, he needs to be disciplined as well. So for me, no brainer, either David De Gea or Cristiano Ronaldo. Take your pick. It has to be one of them two. Ronaldo, for obvious reasons, he's the GOAT. I mean, everyone's going to respect Ronaldo in the team. I know he's only been here 2 minutes, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, it goes without saying, doesn't it, really? And David De Gea, one of the only people, okay, recent years, he's been poor, not denying that. One of the only people who's consistently upheld the standards of the football club, i.e. he's spoken out on numerous occasions about Manchester United being up here. I know he's got Premier League titles, so of course he's got that success. Maybe he's got a different mindset to the other players. But I think for me, a lot of people respect him. He's been phenomenal this season, and he got stripped of his captaincy literally because he said this isn't good enough for Man United, and he's trying to uphold the standards. So for me, De Gea or Ronaldo, I'm not opposed to Bruno, but rather it was either them two for me personally.
Go on then, Jules. What are you saying? Are you staying with your guy? Are you still backing your guy? Huh? What are you saying?
Me personally, I don't think that is a tough one because of my guy. I don't want to strip him off the captaincy. I just want to string him up against the wall and fucking just punch him in the bollocks a couple of times and tend to buck up his ideas.
Wow.
I think that's what Ollie needs to do with him is just literally just, you know,
punch him in the bollocks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he should be out for a week, maybe. I'm sure
Ronaldo will sort it out. He's already been there, done that. So, you know.
Could you imagine that Maguire's out for a week with a dislocated bollock? Like, fuck it. Damn, Ollie, you're taking it too far, mate.
I think I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stick with my guy. I can't get rid of my guy.
Wow. I can't agree.
I know that people are gonna say why, but no, he's my guy. I'm sticking.
I might have to beat you from the stream, even though we're ending.
I think that's Ollie. I think G will start to go there. It's Ollie gonna wolf. We found him.
Oh my god!
No, Maguire needs to be I can't see ASAP for me personally.
He does need a rocket up his ass, especially after the last 3 or 4 games that he's had.
Yeah, he needs the hair dry treatment. He needs the hair dry treatment.
Yeah.
Facts.
I tried to have a word with him, but he's not listening to me. He doesn't listen to dwarves.
I love that.
Okay, guys. Well, we've got to the end of the show. Guys, we'll try and get into more of your questions on the next one. Thanks to Gandix for getting in here, Avenger Mask, Liam Lavelle, Sin Games, Big God Bob. Who else is in here? Everyone. Just thanks for getting in here. Joel Harrison. I said Liam Lavelle, Ada McDonald. Sorry if I couldn't read everyone's comments. There were some good questions in there. I had to go for good ones, but yeah, we're against the clock right now. So everyone, thanks for getting in here. Hit the like and subscribe if you're new, obviously. G-Wolf, where can people find you before we sign off?
Yeah, people can find me on G-Wolf United Gaming. Do a load of gaming content, Rocket League, GTA, Football Manager, eFootball I've been doing as well. So
nice. And then Usman.
Yeah, you can find me on Usman Talks United on Twitter. That's with 2 A's. and on YouTube, where I'll do a lot of content, mainly regarding Man United, but of course other Premier League teams. So we got a watch along tomorrow and a match reaction. So hopefully in good spirits.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I've been slacking on my YouTube, to be honest, guys. I mean, I've been having some design work that I'm doing, but I will be adding more videos to my new channel called Eddie's Football Waffle. So that's Eddie with a Y, Eddie's Football Waffle. Tap down to YouTube, subscribe. I'm going to be having some more animation coming soon. Come soon. I'm going to make time for it. But obviously, the most important platform to subscribe to is the one you are watching now, Flying Pig United.
That's it.
Like and subscribe. Get into the description. If you've not subscribed already, get in there. If you've not followed the pig on social media, it's on Instagram, Twitter. So just get in the description and just interact. It's free. So you got nothing to lose. So everyone, you have a good night. United Way, Aaron Homeyard, thanks for doing the modding today. Avenger Mass. Big God Bob, I said already. Nusaj done. Yeah, thanks, guys. Shout outs to everyone. Yeah, everyone have a good night. Catch you later.
Peace.
See you later, guys.